Have you ever seen or experienced something so shocking that the only expression you could have was this one? Hey guys, we're going to continue on talking with our series on what to do when you don't know what to do. And we started talking about the story of Joseph and his family. We talked about all the drama that was going on in his family and all the things that came along with that story. And so today I want to continue on with that because as we talked about last time, this is the point where the brothers have now gotten to the point where they're fed up with Joseph. He told them that dream and everybody's reaction was completely rational to their own time or being or whichever it might have been. It also might have been a little bit irrational because just imagine about how the brothers would have reacted. How would you have reacted the moment that your brother, younger sibling or brother or sister, came up to you and said, "Hey, I had a dream that I was going to rule over you." You wouldn't be very excited about that moment. And so this is kind of what happens with the brothers, right? The brothers become really angered about this issue. And so they start talking amongst themselves. And this is kind of where we are in the story now. And so it reads like this. This is in Genesis 37. It says, this is the reaction. But they saw him in a distance. And before he reached them, they plotted to kill him. And so this was their reaction. He said, I had a dream that one day I'm going to rule over you guys, my mother and father included. And the brother's reaction is like, oh, we got to kill this guy. Like, he's got to go, right? I think I have a younger brother and an older brother and a middle child. And I've had that thought in my head before where it's like, oh my gosh, he's got to go. I've never acted upon it, never even thought about acting upon it, but it's just the thought that we have. But these guys weren't just thinking about it. We thought sometimes maybe about some people where it's like, oh, I wish I could just, and those thoughts come to our heads, but we never mean them. But these guys actually did. And so they saw him coming and they said to each other, "Here comes that dreamer. Come on, let's kill him and throw him into one of these cisterns and say that a ferocious animal devoured him. Then we'll see what comes of his dream." So they were actually serious. And as Joseph's walking up to them, they already have an idea of what's going to happen to him. And then, as crazy as it was, one of the brothers had a conscience. And Reuben, he says to them, "Let's not take his life." He said, "Don't shed any blood. Throw him into the cisterns here in the wilderness, but don't lay a hand on him." Reuben said this to rescue him from them and take him back to his father. So Reuben had a change of mind. He said, let's not kill him. Instead, let's put him in one of these, these holes right here, one of these cisterns here, and leave him there, and then we'll say that he was killed. But, we don't have to actually kill him. Don't lay a hand on him. And so they took the robe that Joseph was given by his father. Remember that really nice robe that really told people, hey, this is my favorite child, right? That robe, they take it and they put it into all of the blood of animals. They get it all dirty with blood. They fill it up with blood, and then they take it back to their father and they say, "We found this. Examine it to see whether it is your son's robe or not." And so now, imagine how the father must have reacted. Not only because he's now thinking that he's lost a son, but because now in his mind he's lost his favorite son, the one that was a miracle from the one woman that he actually loved and wanted to marry from the beginning, who was not able to have children and miraculously gave birth to Joseph. And so he must have been saddened and distraught. But then on the other side, how does Joseph feel? You ever catch yourself in one of these crazy situations, and maybe it's just a really difficult moment, really difficult situation where you have so many things and so many thoughts going through your head. Sometimes in those thoughts, we surprise ourselves by how well we handle the situation. Sometimes we surprise ourselves by realizing how much we fall apart, but then sometimes we actually feel strengthened by God. But I think a lot of times we feel abandoned by God, and so we begin to wonder, where is God at all? You see, Joseph must have been in great despair. His brother had left him there, and and he had no idea what was to happen to him. And through all of this, in the midst of all of this, we get this one verse that is really important for the rest of the story. In Genesis 39:2, it says, "The Lord was with Joseph." What we learn from this story, it's a lot about people and a lot about reactions and actions that we take, but we also learn about God's presence with us, even through the most difficult of situations. And here's the thing about this. God's presence is not always going to change the situation and the circumstances that are happening in our lives. But as we will read forward, moving forward in Joseph's story, having God's presence can really change us in our life. We're going to experience plenty of moments when we'll have reactions like this, or like this one, or even this one. But in all of those moments, we must be reminded that when we don't know what to do, God is with us. It's a big, important truth to know and to have when we are facing some of life's most difficult challenges.